itself a supporting action and allows you to easily define your risk. So insist on waiting for that before you take a position. But after the breakout, once a stock is actually in a defined uptrend, there's going to be additional areas of support where you can define your risk. So it's not absolutely necessary to wait for an upside reversal in those cases. So the moving average lines that I pay attention to when a stock is in a defined uptrend are the 10-day moving average, the 21-day exponential, and the 50-day moving average. So beginning with the 10-day moving average, the way I use the 10-day is pretty much as a way to keep me in a stock as opposed to an area where I would increase or accumulate shares. Because the 10-day is typically so close to the price action that unless the stock is extremely powerful and well extended above the 10-day, typically that the stock will be within 10% of the 10-day moving average typically. And when I'm buying pullbacks, I'm looking for something a little more substantial than that, maybe something in the 12 to 20% range. So, if I can find a stock, I think the sweet spot, I was to just study, and the average pullback was around 16 to 18%. So if I can buy a stock in that range, I feel like I'm doing pretty well, but typically the 10-day will be too close to that price action. So instead I use it more as a means to keep me in a stock because I do have a tendency to get a little excited and lock in my gains a little bit too early. So Tesla, which was a stock I traded last year, and I still have a position, is I probably made 80% of my gains last year, and it was a very significant year in Tesla. Tesla was by far my largest winner. And you can see when it broke out in December of 2019, it had an incredibly powerful advance, and the 10-day moving average, which is your green line on the chart, contained the entire move all the way up here to the top until it was finally broken out here. So at the peak, it was up 168% over 10 weeks, all supported by the 10-day moving average. So it could be a very powerful way to keep you in a stock, especially if you have a tendency to kind of get excited and take your quick profits. And you can see that during this move up, you had multiple upside reversals with support of the 10-day moving average, where you could have pyramided a little bit on those days. So the 21-day moving average is another moving average that I pay a lot of attention to. And it too will often contain a stock's